What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for Hell in a Cell, which will take place this Sunday on the WWE Network. Unfortunately though, there are only 4 matches on the card, based on what I have. There's been a bit of a chatter. There's been some chatter about a few things, including the SmackDown tag titles being defended on Sunday. But I'm not so sure though. Yeah, but I'm not so sure. But before we get started with that, I do have something that I do want to bring up. There's been some chatter about a show called WWE Backstage being, having to come back tomorrow night on FS1. So it's actually so there's been some chatter about that. Apparently this will be the first time since June that WWE Backstage will be around. Apparently there's going to be some sort of special episode that will go down on FS1 after SmackDown. And the reason why is because SmackDown has now been shifted to FS1 as a result of the World Series coming up. So apparently, according to PW Insider, they've reported that WWE had planned on airing the episode of Talking Smack after SmackDown, but decided to go with Backstage instead. There hasn't been any word on who's going to host it. However, though, former WWE correspondent Renee Young has claimed that she does still work for Fox. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know what's going to be going down. But if you guys are not familiar with Backstage, Paige, Booker T, Christian, Captain Charisma Christian, and of course CM Punk have actually joined Renee Young as her co-hosts of sorts on the show. If these rumors are true, that would be huge because given the fact that we're now officially on the road to Survivor Series, there's no telling what WWE will do. But of course, you guys know me. I mean, WWE Backstage, from what I hear, is going to be taking place here in Los Angeles, and yeah, I live in LA, so it makes sense. But as far as the match card goes, it's hard to say because the matches that we have on the card. First of all, we have a match that was actually announced this past Monday on Raw Talk, as Jeff Hardy accepted Elias's challenge for Hell in a Cell, and this was over the fact that Elias claims that Jeff Hardy was the one that attacked him when he got arrested. If you guys remember that episode of SmackDown, it was over the summer. It was over the summer, and apparently, someone had put a bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey in Jeff's rental car, and yeah, apparently, thus is the reason why Elias was sent to the hospital. As far as that goes, I think Jeff Hardy didn't do it. I don't think he did. He wouldn't have stooped that low. But this is Elias we're talking here, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what he's thinking, but I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy on this one. Just because of the fact that Jeff Hardy has more experience in the ring than Elias in WWE, and there's not much to say about that. Alright, you guys, next up we have the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. This one will be for the SmackDown Women's title. Bayley has actually yet to sign the contract. From what I know, she has failed to sign the contract. As far as when she will, apparently she's going to sign the contract on SmackDown tomorrow night. And this is over, and this is all because of the fact that Bayley turned her back on Sasha Banks and just completely annihilated her. Almost broke her neck, and to be honest, I think honestly this rivalry has gone way too far, and I think for this rivalry to be held inside Hell in a Cell, I think is perfect for them. So, but given the fact that Sasha Banks has been in the previous 2 women's Hell in a Cell matches, I mean the first time Charlotte won, Charlotte Flair won the match. The second time, Becky Lynch won the match. Odds are, the big question is, can the third time be the charm? That's the big question here, is whether or not the third time will be the charm. Honestly, I really don't see it happening, but I am gonna go with Bayley on this one, just because of the fact that she's been SmackDown Women's Champion for well over a year. Yes, well over a year, which is obviously an incredible run. But as far as whether or not Lightning will strike 3, for a third time, I don't know. That is a possibility. Alright, guys, next up we have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the final time. According to Randy Orton, this will be the last time for the WWE Championship, and yes, it will be inside Hell in a Cell. This will be Randy Orton's 8th Hell in a Cell, but this will be Drew McIntyre's first. Now, there's a reason why Drew McIntyre is called the Scottish Psychopath. It's because under those type of circumstances, he can do anything. Literally, he can use that cell as his weapon of destruction. And Randy Orton, he's done that before. He's done that before, but keep this in mind. This is Hell in a Cell, one of the most dangerous matches in WWE today. Given the fact that Drew McIntyre has never been inside the cell before, that is a testament to what it's a testament to what it could say about Drew McIntyre going into this match on Sunday. I will say though, Drew McIntyre has had one of the best WWE Championship runs we've had in a long time, and if I'm gonna be honest here, I think hang on a second, guys. I'm literally looking on What Culture and WrestleDuck to see if WWE had announced anything. Nothing really too crazy here. Okay, so alright, never mind. Alright, so Drew McIntyre has been WWE Champion since WrestleMania, since Night 2 of WrestleMania. And if you guys remember, there were exactly a grand total of 18 matches. Okay, 18 matches. Can you believe that? 18 matches, which was insane. If you guys remember the match, the card for that night, for both nights, we had Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for said WWE Championship. We had Edge against Orton in that last man standing match. We had Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's title, first time ever that a NXT Championship headlined WrestleMania. We had Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's title. We had John Cena versus The Fiend, which we had not seen Cena since then. We had Goldberg versus originally Roman Reigns, but because of the pandemic, Braun Strowman ended up taking over. We had The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in that Boneyard match. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, which I believe it was a no-hold-barred match. We had Baron Corbin versus Elias. We had Bayley in that fatal 5-way match for her SmackDown Women's title, which was against Lacey Evans, Tamina, Naomi, and of course Sasha Banks herself. We had Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental title. And then of course we had the Street Profits against Austin Theory and Angel Garza for the Raw tag titles back when they were still on Raw. We had Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley, which was like in which a lot of these matches were like last minute. They were like last minute matches. And then of course Miz and Morrison. And then of course John Morrison against Jimmy Uso against Kofi Kingston. Originally all 6 men were going to be in that ladder match, but it ended up being 1 man from each team for the SmackDown tag titles. We had Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. We had the Kabuki Warriors. We had Kairi Sane and Asuka against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the tag titles. And then, of course, on the kickoff show, we had Drew Gulak against Cesaro and Liv Morgan and Natalya. That was the whole card. And yes, that literally just saying all those matches took a lot out of me, literally. But yeah, Drew McIntyre has been champion since night 2 of WrestleMania. And this has been the best Drew McIntyre we have seen in a long time. Will it all come to an end? I don't think so. I think Randy Orton is way in over his head because, again, Drew McIntyre, despite the fact that he's never been inside Hell in a Cell, out of every person who has been inside the cell the first time around, it's always been a win, except for some. You know, except for a few. You know, like Chris Jericho, Undertaker. Who else? Mick Foley, just to name a few. Kane, just to name a few. But yeah. I think Drew McIntyre is going to pick up the victory because, again, this is a must-win situation for Drew McIntyre because if he wins tonight, not only will he retain the title, but he will have officially ended his rivalry with Randy Orton. But if he loses, then all of that momentum will go will just. So it's a must win for Drew McIntyre. So I'm sticking with McIntyre. Alright, you guys. So lastly, here we have Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, versus Jey Uso for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell, where the only way to win is to utter the words, "I quit." 2 words, 5 letters. I quit. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, let me go back a ways. Because I remember. Because I remember 2017. Let's see, 2017. Let me start with 2017. Or, hang on. Let me go all the way back a little bit. So, I want to take you guys back to. Let's see. So, the first time. So, if you guys don't know the history about the Universal title and Hell in a Cell, the first time around, Kevin Owens had defeated Seth Rollins with a power bomb to retain the title. This was when Kevin Owens was the champion, the second ever Universal Champion. Held the title from that night on Raw all the way up until Fastlane, where we saw Goldberg win the title from him because of Chris Jericho. Again, Kevin Owens defeated Seth Rollins to win the title, to retain the championship. Now, fast forward, if you guys remember, to Hell in a Cell 2017, if I can. Now, fast forward to Hell in a Cell 20. Actually, no. The WWE Championship was defended inside the cell, wasn't it? No, it was not. It was never defended inside the cell. So fast forward now to 2018. Now this was actually when WWE had decided to have the Raw matches and the SmackDown matches all in the same pay-per-view, shockingly enough. So fast forward now to Hell in a Cell 2018, where Roman Reigns had put the title on the line against Braun Strowman. Now keep this in mind. Braun Strowman had cashed in Money in the Bank. Had decided to cash in Money in the Bank on Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell. That match ended in a no contest because Brock Lesnar got involved and ended the match in a no contest, which honestly was stupid. Honestly, they should have just let that match go, but it is what it is. Now fast forward to last year. Last year's Hell in a Cell ended very badly, and it ended in the way that a lot of people had expected. So Seth Rollins at the time was the Universal Champion, and he had defended the title against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. That match again ended in a no contest because Seth Rollins hit the Fiend with a sledgehammer, in which the Fiend was literally underneath like a ladder, steel chairs, and even a toolbox, and the referee ended the match. That's what changed him. That's what changed Seth Rollins to be the man that we see now, which is obviously the savior of SmackDown. And it's interesting because Seth Rollins was always a man of honor and whatnot, and given the fact that he stooped that low, honestly, it doesn't really surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me, but it is what it is. This year's Hell in a Cell, it could be different. Only time will tell, because if you guys remember, Otis still holds the Money in the Bank briefcase, which means at any given moment during that match, he can cash in the briefcase in that match, and it automatically becomes a triple threat. Which I believe, if they were if they were to change it to a triple threat match, then it would be by pinfall or submission. You cannot utter the words "I quit." So the possibilities are endless, but obviously this rivalry between Reigns and Uso has gotten so personal over the fact that Jey Uso has refused to acknowledge Reigns as the tribal chief. Jay's brother Jimmy did that. Jey never did. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't know if this rivalry will come to an end. Maybe it will on Sunday. Who the hell knows? All I know is that this rivalry must come to an end. But if I really have to pick, I gotta go with Roman Reigns on this one, because if you guys remember last week on SmackDown, we saw not just Keith Lee watching Braun, the match between Reigns and Strowman for the title, but we also saw Goldberg as well in the background as well. So who knows? Maybe Goldberg will show up to the Thunderdome and challenge Reigns for the title. Who the hell knows? Only time will tell. But I gotta go with Roman Reigns on this one, in my personal opinion, anyway. Alright, you guys, that is going to do it for this video. Honestly, there really wasn't much to talk about. We could, but however, though, I will say is we could very maybe we'll see. We could potentially see the SmackDown. We could see the SmackDown tag team titles be defended. We could even see I don't know. Possibly the Intercontinental title be defended. Maybe the United States title. Maybe we might even see Retribution versus the Hurt Business. The possibilities are endless, but I'm not so sure. Obviously, they will announce it. Excuse me. Not just tomorrow on SmackDown, but they'll also announce it this Sunday on the Hell in a Cell kickoff show. So I'll be watching that very closely. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Question of the day. Just from these 4 matches alone, what are your guys' predictions for these 4 matches? Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys love seeing these types of videos, these types of prediction videos for NXT NXT takeovers, main roster pay-per-views, or bandless predictions or whatever, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links are down in the description below. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.